Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I just took my son to the Wild Wing Cafe and had some buffalo wings. I recommend the Red Dragon if you're getting wings. It's spicy but sweet, really good. Okay, the market looks like it wants to take off. We've kind of been in a consolidation, I guess you'd call it, for the last day or two, and we tanked a little bit. And it kind of settled at 50 cents, 55 cents, somewhere in that range. It's kind of been bouncing around down there for a little while. And it looks like it's wanting to take off. Look, this is Coin Market Cap. The total market cap had gotten down around as low as, I think, around 499 billion. And now things are wanting to take back off. XRP is showing, I've seen it as high as up 16% today. You'll see Stellar's up almost 20% today. And I see, let's do a refresh there. XRP was up, I think it was 15 or so percent, but right now it's up over 11% right now. So it looks like things could get interesting anytime now. Now I saw this chart today from this guy, BOI, Bitcoin's adoption curve. I don't really have any kind of real interesting commentary on this other than to show you that it kind of shows you where people kind of expect, where we kind of are and where a lot of people think that this is all headed. This is just Bitcoin you're looking at. So it was a collectible at first, and then it's heading into the collectible plus store of value, where they think it's going to end up somewhere in the $1 to $10 million range, which is interesting. Now, the Joker put this tweet out right here, and then he expounded on it a little bit, and I like what he's getting at here. If you look, he says XRP the beast, and then he's got this chart, and the way I understand it from looking at a few of these, I think that the idea is that this is kind of the trajectory. Now he says, and then he followed up to this tweet, and he says, okay, it means XRP can pump hard to above $1. 144 is what his target is by the end of November, which we have, 3 or 4 days? And then he says in December, it goes rocket and never comes back. I like the way this guy is thinking. This guy's one of the few what I call chart people that really seems to know what he's talking about. Okay, now this is interesting. I showed you this the other day, but I wanted to replay you a small clip from it. And then I'm going to show you another video that kind of rolls into this and presents a way of thinking about what's coming that I don't know that I had even brought up before. But it's by a really smart man that I know. All right, so listen to this is the guy, Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy. And remember, he bought Bitcoin, and he's a Bitcoin maxi. He bought Bitcoin for MicroStrategy's treasury. And he's basically saying in this clip that it's not just going to be certain companies. It's going to be a lot of companies that are coming. It's going to be the Googles and the Apple and the Tesla and all these that are doing the same thing. But then I'm going to follow it up and let you hear what Cryptopolis says. And Cryptopolis is a guy on Twitter. He's a guy that I've met. I met him in Vegas last year, and he's actually, I think he's been creating trading software his whole life. Very sharp guy. And I want you to hear his thoughts on this because it really completes the picture. But first, let's listen to Michael Saylor.
Base by 10 or 20% a year either. So we had to do something. I think that as investors start to understand the Bitcoin story, they're going to migrate their capital on the Bitcoin network, and that's going to create a virtuous cycle of adoption, followed by price appreciation, followed by value accretion, followed by technology integration from companies like, you see Square and PayPal. It'll be Apple and Google shortly. That's going to drive more adoption. And that means that you really want to plug your company into the Bitcoin monetary network, right? It's probably the biggest thing that's happened over the past decade. It's going to be bigger than the FANG stocks. It's going to be bigger than Apple, Amazon, Facebook, the social networks. And it's the ideal time to plug into it because 99% of the investors don't understand what I just said. And with $350 billion of monetary energy in the Bitcoin network, it's all but unstoppable at this point.
Now, the thing he's right about is, yes, all those big companies, every big company in the world is going to get into this. The thing I think he's wrong about is that they're all only going to focus on Bitcoin. That's the point that Cryptopolis makes. Now, I want to show you who Cryptopolis is first. Follow him on Twitter at Cryptopolis_X. And then here, this is his website, onlycoin.io. And this is it, onlycoin.io. You can actually sign up for his email newsletter. He says crypto is ready to blast off. Get hourly analysis on coins you care about most. Okay. So I'm going to join this email list myself. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to join this. And but anyway, he's very, very smart guy. And I actually spent a lot of time with him out in Vegas last year. He's on Brad Combs' show all the time. Digital Perspectives. Go give Digital Perspectives a subscribe if you don't already. I want you to listen to what Cryptopolis says in this intro.
You know that we knew this was coming for a long, long time.
We did. We really did.
And, you know, when I heard Paul Tudor Jones, which is one of my heroes in the stock market area, talk about the fact that he has a percentage of his net worth into Bitcoin, I'm thinking, is he talking his book or is he like really? And he was sincere. And then we had a lot of companies who are putting their treasury functions into Bitcoin. And you know what? At some point, when Bitcoin, you think about the floating supply of Bitcoin, it's really low.
It's really low. Yeah.
So what's going to happen? They have to start to look at other cryptocurrencies. Hey, wait a minute. There's trillions of dollars available to invest in this market. And if Bitcoin, they don't want to run Bitcoin up on them. They don't want to run it up to 100,000 and then have to pay 100,000 in Bitcoin. They're going to try to manage that as well as they could. And they're going to start looking around. Oh, wait a minute. We got number 2 here is Ethereum. Number 3 is XRP. All right, let's just spread it out a little bit. Yeah.
Exactly right.
XRP at 50 cents is still a bargain.
It's still a bargain, right? I mean, it's like, look, I look at this thing, and when I saw the article that said basically that all new Bitcoin are being absorbed through just what PayPal's doing, the first thing that comes to mind is scarcity, right? And it's like, wow, now the only thing we're really going to be talking about selling is what people are willing to get rid of.
Well, PayPal made a ton of money on that.
Ton of money.
They've been accumulating Bitcoin for a very long time, $103 million worth. And I bet they bought $1 billion because they sold out of that $103 million of Bitcoin in 3 days. Oh. And it was to a limited number of people on their app. Mm-hmm. It wasn't even everybody. And so now they've got to go back into the market and start accumulating more Bitcoin. Well, now they've got to open it up. I know they got Bitcoin Cash in there, and they got to add other cryptocurrencies in there. And the really cool thing, really interesting thing, and somewhat odd thing is that they don't even have charts. All they got is buttons. Buy $10, buy $50, buy $100, And so nobody's looking at charts. Nobody's saying, well, what's the price? I'm just buying $10 worth of Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. It's like you're going to the store and you're buying $10 worth of, meat or grapes or, whatever, commodity. And so people don't even look at the charts. They're just going, I'll buy $10 worth of Bitcoin. I heard about Bitcoin. I want to buy it. And they're going to do the same thing with XRP, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, and whatever else they decide. They're rolling this out. They wanted to see what the demand was. Well, now they know.
Oh, they know big time.
How about that? So he made 2 important points there. All these companies that are going to buy digital assets for their treasuries, it's not just going to be Bitcoin. That makes no sense. They will diversify, and they will eventually, I'm sure they already have found, but they will find the greatest digital asset ever created, XRP. He also said that PayPal can't meet the demand with just Bitcoin. That's what he's getting at there. And that PayPal, the crypto for the people is here. They're actually, this is a promotion that they're doing on Twitter. So you know that they're going to begin adding other digital assets as well. And you know that XRP is going to be one of them. So great clip from Digital Perspectives and Cryptopolis. Now, New York Times reports claims of racist or discriminatory treatment of employees at Coinbase. Now, if you remember a while back, Coinbase had put out a press release saying that basically they were going to be like an apolitical organization. I knew when I saw that they may have just opened up a can of worms. So I'm not going to get deep into all of that. That's political stuff, but it is what it is. Riz XRP sent me this. This person, Riz says XRP, the greatest digital asset ever created. And he's tweeting this article. This guy comes in with a pretty intelligent response. It says turn of year mega drivers, the transcendency of crypto's use case, the provability of actual partnerships and usage, the futurity, that's an interesting word, of crypto having highest multiples, the criticality of having a written liquidity plan, the flexibility of having a collateralized line of credit. I thought that was a pretty insightful, interesting little write-up there. Good stuff. And then James Rule says, hey, Joel Katz, many members are questioning me about the 20 XRP reserved and increase in value of XRP. Will the reserve drops be adjusted as XRP reaches and holds higher levels? Thanks, brother. Now, for those of you that don't know, XRP has, if you open an XRP account, there's a reserve requirement. You have to keep 20 in each account that you've ever opened. You got to leave them behind, okay? Or just keep them there if you go and try to consolidate. David Schwartz says, I'm personally almost always going to oppose lowering the reserve, but other people feel differently. We can start a new conversation about it and see how the community feels. The problem is that XRP price is very volatile and having to raise the reserve would be very painful. So that's David Schwartz weighing in on the XRP reserve requirement. This is something from Brad Garlinghouse's interview the other day that I wanted to make sure I remembered to bring up. DJ Peter Voss, it's in an article here, but this is the gist of it. Garlinghouse, Ripple would still thrive even if XRP were declared a security. That was something that came out in that conversation with Anthony Pompliano. All right. Now, I don't know exactly what's going on here. I just wanted to bring it to your attention. It looks like there's some new SEC filings that show, and this is from Bank XRP, general statement of acquisition of beneficial ownership. There were people that were basically saying they think, some of them I think thought that Ripple had outright bought MoneyGram, but I think they just increased the amount they own, reading between the lines on all this. I just wanted to make you aware of that. Now, finally, this was on Market Watch opinion, why the only place you should invest in Bitcoin is in your IRA. And they say, I'm not saying you should or shouldn't buy the digital virtual currency. I'm just saying if you do decide to buy it, as an investment or a trade, do it in your IRA or some other tax sheltered account. That way you can ride the latest mania, maybe make a quick profit and not have to pay any tax when you cash out. The IRS treats Bitcoin as a property, meaning any gains you make outside of a sheltered account will count as ordinary income. It's risen 70% since October. It's nearly at record highs. It's more than doubled in price in a year. And so basically they're saying that's the only way to go. And I do it myself. I've told you about this before. Now, there's a link to iTrustCapital in the description of all of my videos. There's a link and there's a coupon that gives you a free month free. What you can do is if you're laid off from a job, you can roll your 401k or other retirement plan into an iTrustCapital IRA, or you can just open a new one with iTrustCapital outright. I opened a Roth IRA, and the other day on the advice of my accountant, I opened a SEP IRA as well. And for those of you that are small business people, you should call them and check into that. And talk to your accountant. I'm not an accountant. But anyway, I opened a SEP IRA because it's a write-off if it works for you. So anyway, and just so you know, I think it's this section here. Here's what you can buy inside of an iTrustCapital IRA right now. Bitcoin, Litecoin, XRP, Chainlink's coming soon. You can get gold that's on the blockchain, silver that's on the blockchain. Stellar's coming soon. You can get EOS, Bitcoin Cash, and Ethereum. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that iTrustCapital links are in the description of all my videos. Thanks for listening.